head is full of questions, and the sky is full of rain. When I'm worrying about what I can't change, I take a look at my reflection and try to make a funny face. And for a second all my sorrows melt away. As if we just smile, we can forget all of our troubles for a while. We can just live inside this moment. You and I get through the darkness knowing we'll find the light. If we just smile, if we just smile. Yeah, if we just smile. Maybe we focus on the future. No use in living in the past. Try to remember that the bad times never last. And every day one step at a time, we gonna make it alright. If we stick together, we'll be fine. 'Cause if we just smile, we can forget all of our troubles for a while. We can just live inside this moment. You and I get through the darkness knowing we'll find the light. If we just smile, if we just smile when the sky is falling, smile when the love comes calling. We can take tomorrow on with style. If we just smile, we can forget all of our troubles for a while. We can just live inside this moment. You and I get through the darkness knowing we'll find the light. If we just smile, if we just smile. Yeah, if we just smile. If we just smile. Yeah, if we just smile. If we just smile. Don't you want to live out your wildest dreams? Right now, we've got everything that we need. No time to waste, no better place to be. 'Cause we could wander as far as the eye can see. I wanna take you with me. Where do you wanna go? Imagine the way it could be if life was an open road. Come on and take it easy. See the whole world up close. Let's get lost in the great unknown. Today is too short not to take every chance. And I think we should do it all while we can. So follow my lead, pick up your feet and dance. It's never too late to tear out the page. Let's make a change of plans. I wanna take you with me. Where do you wanna go? Imagine the way it could be if life was an open road. Come on and take it easy. See the whole world up close. Let's get lost in the great unknown. I wanna take you with me. Where do you wanna go? Imagine the way it could be if life was an open road. Come on and take it easy. See the whole world up close. Let's get lost in the great unknown. Yeah, I wanna take you with just as long as you're with me. I wanna take you, we can go anywhere. I wanna take you with, go anywhere. I wanna take you with me. Yeah, I wanna take you with me. Where do you wanna go? Imagine the places we'll see from LA to Tokyo. You come on and take it easy to see the whole world up close. Let's get lost in the
Pretty.
Gorgeous.
Thank you. Very handsome. Are we allowed to kiss? You just kind of did it. You sure did. Okay. Well, I think we're done. That's it.
Wow.
See the whole world up close. Let's get lost in the great unknown. I wanna take you with me. Where do you wanna go? Imagine the way it could be if life was an open road. Come on and take it easy. See the whole world up close. Let's get lost in the great unknown.
That's why I should have just held on to the damn phone.
All right. Okay.
Oh, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. What?
Just go. Just go.
All right, just go.
Who gives this woman to this man?
Her mother and I.
There you go.
All right, there you go. See you. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right.
Let's just take the reins off.
All right. Please be seated. Alrighty. I'd like to first thank everyone, each and every one of you for being here today on this most happy of days. I mean, do we love today or what? Come on, look at Morgan and Ryan. Morgan and Ryan have welcomed you all here today because of the special role you have played in their individual and collective lives. You've watched them grow up, you've gone to school with them, you've worked with them, and you've traveled the world with them. So it's only fitting that you're here today to begin this new chapter with them. My name is Sarah, and I've known Morgan and Ryan for a number of years. I also happen to be the proud, not at all self-proclaimed godmother to Charlie Crowder. I've been advertising my Holy Year services for quite some time now. And on May 6, 2021, my dreams came true when Morgan and Ryan asked me to officiate on an ice cream cake. I said yes. I am thrilled to be here today among all of you and humbled to be a part of their special day as I lead them to their commitment to each other. In preparing for today, I spent time reflecting on the meaning of love and what makes a marriage. Love is a loaded word, and there's a ton packed into those 4 letters. It's passion, respect, devotion, selflessness, kindness. It's watching Morgan's middle school color guard videos while watching her do a live demo right in front of you. It's supporting Ryan through all of his canine crypto investments. It's getting a piano for your living room so Morgan can play 4 notes anytime someone comes over. And it's getting a dog, even though you don't really like all animals, because Ryan wanted a dog just as big as him. It's this love that will feed your soul and fuel your marriage. There's a lot of other things that go into marriage, though. Marriage can be the greatest and most challenging adventure of human relationships. No ceremony can create your marriage. Only you can do that. Through patience and support, dedication and perseverance, talking and listening, through learning to forgive, learning to appreciate your differences, and by learning to make the most important things matter and letting go of the rest. What the ceremony can do is affirm the choice that you are making to stand together as partners and to offer a moment to come back to when life throws you for a loop. Ryan and Morgan truly love each other. They care deeply for each other. They protect each other. They respect each other, and they make each other laugh. They support each other in ways that are both obvious and unnoticed, but always appreciated. There was one moment in time that I thought to myself, this is it. I knew from the moment that I asked Morgan to get on Ryan's shoulders, which they both did with no questions asked, and I saw the mega human they became, that this relationship was something pretty special. Morgan, one of the most beautiful people on the inside and the out, an Excel wizard, matching pajama loving, great friend, and Ryan, the tall board game entrepreneur, priority citizen, are a match made in heaven. All jokes aside, Morgan and Ryan have a certain way of brightening your day. They make you feel special. They make you feel at home. They make you feel included. Because they're both remarkable people, both individually and especially together. Family is very important for both Morgan and Ryan. Mammy, Morgan's grandmother, joins us here today and would like to say a few words.
Thank you.
It's beautiful, ma'am.
Thank you. Morgan and Ryan asked me to give the Christian view of marriage. And so here it is. Morgan and Ryan, you're coming to this day with a good foundation. Look at your parents for the lasting friendship they share in marriage. You have them as an example, but more than that,
you have the testimony of God's word. God has stated plainly that marriage is his idea. He defined it in the Garden of Eden in Genesis 2:24, one man, Adam, and one woman, Eve. Genesis 1:26 says, humans are created in the image of God. One of our greatest needs is to know that we are loved. Each one of us has to feel certain, deep down in our hearts, that someone loves us, cares for us, and has our best interests at heart. God created human beings with fellowship in mind, first with himself and then with others. Jesus reiterated God's design for marriage in the New Testament in Mark chapter 10, verses 6 through 8. It says, from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Malachi 2:14 says, marriage is described as a holy covenant before God. What is a covenant? It is a formal agreement, and it is more than a promise between two people. The essence of marriage is a long-term, permanent, and exclusive relationship to share every part of your life. It is also a legal binding commitment before God to each other and these witnesses. For Christians, marriage goes beyond the earthly covenant also, as a divine picture of the relationship between Christ and his bride, the church. Christian marriage is a solemn and public covenant between a man and a woman in the presence of God, intended by God for their mutual joy, for the help and comfort given one another in prosperity and adversity. I am bound to you through thick and thin, not the passion and the feelings, because they come and they go, they come and they go. It is commitment that creates a cradle of security. If you're able to stick with it, it will make you stronger. It creates freedom. You're making a promise to be faithful, to be loving. I promise to be doing these things regardless of my feelings in the future. You're making a promise to each other. One of the missions of marriage is to create deep character and deep friendship. And Morgan told me a long time ago that you were her best friend. Friendship is a deep oneness that develops when two people speak the truth and love to one another. You come into marriage with all your flaws. Marriage will reveal them. You change when you come into marriage. It is not always what you expected. You will help each other grow. You're each other's best friend and your most trusted counselor. You want someone who really understands you, anticipates how you feel, and also someone you can solve problems with. Wedding vows are not a declaration of present love, but a mutually binding promise of future love. Only if you commit yourself to loving in action day in and day out, even when feelings and circumstances are in flux, can you truly be a free individual. In any relationship, there will be frightening spells in which your feeling of love dries up. And when that happens, you must remember that the essence of marriage is that it is a covenant, a commitment, a promise of future love. So what do? You do the acts of love, despite your lack of feeling. You may not feel tender, sympathetic, and eager to please, but in your actions you must be tender, be understanding, forgiving, and helpful. And if you do that, as time goes on, you will not get through the dry spells, but they will become less frequent and you will become more constant in your feelings. To be fully known and truly loved is, well, a lot like being loved by God, who loves unconditionally. It is what we need more than anything, unconditional love, regardless of what you think or what you feel. It liberates us from pretense and fortifies us for any difficulty love can throw us. In contrast with our culture, the Bible teaches that the essence of marriage is a sacrificial commitment to the good of the other. When God brought the first man his spouse, he brought him not just a lover, but the friend his heart had been seeking. It is my prayer that your marriage direct your heart to the love of God, and that you may satisfied for all eternity with his covenantal love for each one of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, that's really beautiful. Thank you.
You're worth everything. And you're when you fall. Walk around line. Walk around line. Walk around line. I'm fine. I got it.
Avoid that. That was very beautifully said, Mammy. Thank you so much. So, without further ado, we are gathered here today to join Morgan and Ryan in the union of marriage. This contract is not to be entered into lightly, but thoughtfully and seriously, and with a deep realization of its obligations and responsibilities. The bride and groom have each prepared vows that they will read now. Ryan?
Morgan, my whole life, I've dreamed of winning the lottery so I could be rich without working for it. Today, I finally won. Living my life with you is so easy, and I'm the luckiest man in the world. Morgan, you are my superwoman. Maybe not in the kitchen, but you're the ultimate dog mom and emphasis on companion to our angel Charlie Bear. You're an elite bargain hunter, as shown by our basement storage room. I know we are always prepared for every situation. You are an absolute rock star at work on a limitless career path. I can't help but smile when I overhear your company leadership endlessly praise and promote you. You are an incredible planner and think of literally everything, literally. Look at this beautiful and perfect wedding you put together. You prioritize family over everything. When you get a FaceTime from your mom or dad, you drop what you're doing, sometimes even the middle of our conversations, to make sure all is well. You always support me, even with my crazy idea to bootstrap a board game. There's nobody I'd rather have in my corner when the going gets tough. You are my best friend. I vow to always deal with the creepy crawlers when they post up in our house. I vow to watch TV with you on rainy days and let you pick the TV shows, sometimes. I vow to keep the adventure alive through our love of steakhouses and travel. I vow to support and build you up in good times and in bad. I vow to always love you unconditionally through thick and thin. Morgan Elise Gronberg, I am thrilled to officially induct you into the Crowder clan and convert you once and for all to Morgan Elise Crowder. I love you forever and for always.
All right. Ryan, I've been dreaming of this day ever since I was a little girl. What it would look like, what it would feel like, but most of all, I dreamed of you. Wondering when I would meet you and wondering what you would be like, and the reality of it is even better than I could have ever imagined. How lucky am I to marry someone as kind as you, as giving as you, and who loves me the way that you do. I love that you place family above all else, and I promise to do the same for our future family. There's no one on this earth who challenges me more, who sees me more, who loves me more. You are my rock, the only person I want to talk to at the end of the day when I'm not watching TV, the only person with whom I've ever felt completely understood and wholly accepted. You're everything that I'm not. You're my best friend. 1 week after we got engaged, I said to you that my ring was a gift. I'll never forget what you said to me. You said, it's not a gift, it's a commitment. And all over again, I felt like the luckiest girl in the world. Commitment to me is always being loyal and putting in the work when things aren't easy. I promise these things to you and to always love you, even when we don't see it eye to eye, which is inevitable because of this height difference. I've never loved anyone the way I love you, and I never will. Ryan Russ Crowder, I love you with all of my heart and with everything that I am. They say that you don't get to choose your family, but I don't entirely agree with that because I've chosen you, and you are my family, and today I vow to continue to choose you every single day for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Alrighty. And now, do you, Ryan, take Morgan to be your lawfully wedded wife from this day forward, to have and to hold, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do you part?
I do.
Alrighty. And do you, Morgan, take Ryan to be your lawfully wedded husband from this day forward, to have and to hold, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do you part?
I do.
Great. Alrighty. Morgan and Ryan have chosen these rings to represent the unbreakable circle of life and love. Please place them on each other's fingers and repeat after me. Yep. I give you this ring
I give you
I
this
give you this ring
to remind you of this day,
to remind you of this day,
when in front of our closest friends and family,
when in front of our closest friends and family,
we vow that our love can overcome all things,
we vow that our love can overcome all things,
that our love unites, inspires, and celebrates,
that our love unites, inspires, and celebrates,
and will continue to do so for the rest of our lives.
and will continue to do so for the rest of our lives.
By the power vested in me by the state of Maryland and American Marriage Ministries, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Daydream in my head, I'm drifting, swept up in the moment, wishing every now and then we could just pretend that it's just you and me together. We could stay right here forever, nowhere else to be. It's no mystery that you make the sun come out, you make the world spin round, you are sweeter than the summer with a drop of honey. You make me come alive, you make every color shine, you make every day feel brighter. I light up when I see you. Paradise is what we make it, losing track of time we're taking, don't care where it goes. We just make the most of every second that we're given. My love for you is never ending, how it's supposed to be. Yeah, I got all I need, 'cause you make the sun come out, you make the world spin round, you are sweeter than the summer with a drop of honey. You make me come alive, you make every color shine, you make every day feel brighter. I light up when I see you, when
of the groom, Kevin and Lisa Crum. The flower girl, Aaliyah Kent. Ring bearers, Elijah Kent and Noah Blankenship. The best dog, Charlie, escorted by Usher, Colby Serbaugh. Bridesmaid, Nicole Senti, escorted by groomsman, Christian Philippi. Bridesmaid, Mia Kim, escorted by groomsman, Mike Katane. Bridesmaid.
Come on, what was I supposed to do?
Edie Rahani, escorted by groomsman Dylan Lunder. Bridesmaid Kelly Malott, escorted by groomsman Charles Hemsley. Bridesmaid Alexis Whitmer, escorted by groomsman CJ Giles. Bridesmaid Kelsey Grunberg, escorted by groomsman Mark Grunberg. Bridesmaid Megan Blankenship, escorted by groomsman Johnny Crowder. Maid of honor Rachel Greenwald, escorted by groomsman Nick Urigo. The matron of honor, Megan Kent, escorted by best man, Rahul Kumar. And it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Ryan Crowder. All right, and at this time we're going to have our bride and groom remain on the dance floor.
Touch, you inspire, feel it changing me
Wow, Ryan, I'm impressed. I know that she had you working on that for months. Ryan, you're gonna have to do it anyway. I can just picture it. This time I'd like to ask everyone to please bow in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day that you've given us, this gorgeous day, and for Ryan and Morgan. And we just thank you for all the blessings that we have. We just thank you for this food that we're about to eat. In your name we pray. Amen. My bad.
Hello, everyone. And if you couldn't tell, my name is Rachel. I am Morgan's maid of honor. I'd like to start off by thanking everyone who contributed to making today possible, and especially to Morgan's parents, Kimberly and Peter. Kim has worked tirelessly in ensuring Morgan's vision for this day came into reality, and Pete has done a great job of mostly following Kim's orders. I was lucky enough growing up to not only know Kim and Pete as Morgan's parents, but as my soccer and tennis coaches. Both of them always pushed us to be the best versions of ourselves, but most importantly, to remember that success comes as being a team and being there for each other. They are two parents who have gone above and beyond when it comes to dedicating their lives to their children. And there is no doubt Morgan and many of us here today are who we are because of them. So first, I'd like to propose a toast to Kimberly and Peter. Now, to start Morgan and I's story, we have to go to the very beginning. On February 8th, 1994, Morgan and I were born just hours apart in Washington County Hospital, with our mother's rooms right next to each other. I like to think at that point it was fate, and that one of the reasons we were put on this earth was to be there for each other as best friends. It would take us 11 years to meet each other after that day, and when we were put in the same homeroom in middle school and our lockers were assigned next to each other, our fate was sealed. A few months later, we were already planning our 12th birthday party, where somehow our parents allowed us to have our request for a Shirley Temple fountain. This would be the first of many birthday dinners and parties that Morgan and I would share from childhood to adulthood. With so much uncertainty in this world, I feel so incredibly lucky that for over half of my lifetime, I've had Morgan as my rock. And while life has its challenges, those challenges are a lot easier with Morgan by your side. Whether it was motivating me when I wanted to give up on the soccer field, reminding me to take my life a little less seriously, Morgan has always been my biggest hype man and has always taught me to be confident in myself and to know my worth. When we graduated high school, I was even luckier that Morgan and I both ended up at University of Maryland. Freshman year, if I was homesick, Morgan was always up for a sleepover, even if it meant that we had to share a twin bed in a very crowded dorm room together. And honestly, that really exemplifies who Morgan is as a friend, willing to sacrifice what makes sense and what's comfortable for what the people she loves need the most. It was in college when Morgan called me after that infamous ski trip when she made the first move on Ryan. It was obvious from the excitement in her voice that this was going to be different, and soon after, it was clear that it was going to be forever. Ryan is everything you can hope for your best friend. He is kind, loyal, driven, and also a whole lot of fun. I can always count on my visits to Morgan and Ryan's house to go a few hours or a whole night later than I expected. The last time because we decided we had to play Mario Kart and Super Monkey Ball until 1 a.m. Throughout the years, I've already been able to see the amazing life you've built together. From living in DC to sharing your first home and bringing the joy and the chaos that was Charlie into your lives, you've already experienced so much of life together. And it's also safe to say you've made a lot of amazing friends along the way. And in particular, I don't know that I've ever seen a friend group that loves each other as much as the friendships you've made through Pi Chi. Most importantly, I've seen your shared and fierce commitment to family. And it is because of the values that both of your families instilled into you that you are the perfect partners. Ryan, I know the Grunberg family has considered you family for a long time. It is clear the Crowders have always welcomed Morgan into their family and their home. If I give Morgan a call, it's always a good chance that she's watching TV with Ryan's mom. Being able to watch the beautiful life you've already built together, I can only imagine the wonderful family and the future that awaits you both. And I can't wait to see you continue to grow together. And with that, I'd like to toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Crowder.
Thank you, Rachel, for that toast.
Hi, everyone. I'm Raul, the best man. I'd like to start out by thanking the groom for choosing me to deliver this truly magnificent speech. And I only used 2 colors of crayon and a bottle of wine to write it. In all seriousness, I'm honored to be standing up here beside my best friend and his lovely bride on one of the most important days of their lives. The past 2 years have been crazy for all of us, and the fact that we get to celebrate this together and in person is beyond a blessing. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I want to pause and recognize all of the family and friends that came out to celebrate with the bride and groom. I also want to take the time and acknowledge everyone who helped put this wedding together. So much time and energy go into these events, so I think I speak for everyone when I say thank you to all who have worked so hard to make it so special. Now, before I get really into it, I have to state the obvious. Morgan, you look beautiful in your dress tonight. And I have to say, it's a nice change of outfit from the pants you normally wear in the relationship. The groom is also scrubbed up well. Ryan, it's incredible you haven't gotten any food or drink stains on your dress yet, or your suit yet. And while I think we can all agree that the bride and groom both look great tonight, the most handsome boy in the room is, of course, Charlie. And as I say this, I realize Charlie is no longer in the room and is likely frolicking somewhere around in the fields. So now, when I was thinking about what to include in this speech, I had a treasure trove of memories to choose from as me and Ryan first crossed paths nearly 14 years ago. I won't embarrass him too much tonight, though. I'll let my dancing do that later. So me and Ryan first met when we joined the crew team in high school. We had some great times on the team, but all good things must come to an end. And when we reached our senior year, we decided to quit the team when we realized we weren't really Olympic rowing material. Leaving the crew team opened up a lot of free time for us, and this is when we tried to stay in shape. We even attempted the notorious P90X routine before we realized we were much happier playing Super Smash Brothers and eating DiGiorno's. All jokes aside, Ryan is the best guy I know. I may be the best man for this wedding, but he is truly the best man in the building. Knowing Ryan for so many years, I've had the opportunity to experience some of the most fun moments of my life with him. So I wanted to call out a few of the stories that really show the man that he is. The summer after we graduated college, my brother was getting married in India. I was speaking with Ryan about it, never in a million years thinking he would want to come. Before I knew it, he had his ticket booked, and we were all going. Then, now picture this. On the first night, we were all at dinner with all the guests, and about midway through the dinner, I turn around, and I can't find Ryan anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where did Ryan go? And all of a sudden, I look to the bar, and lo and behold, there's Ryan, talking with 2 of our older family friends from France, which is funny because Ryan doesn't speak French, and he literally found the 2 people at the wedding who spoke the least amount of English. I have no idea what they spoke about, but to this day, they still always ask how he's doing whenever we speak with them. So Ryan clearly made an excellent impression on them. This taught me that you can literally drop him in any continent, in any room, and he will find a way to win over the crowd. His loyalty also knows no bounds. Every year when I come around to planning my birthday, the whole plan and list forms around Ryan. And you don't even need to ask if he'll be there. You just need to tell him the date and let him know if there's flying involved. This commitment has taken him from carrying a 20-pound watermelon through Times Square for cocktail prep, to playing blackjack and craps till 3 a.m. in Las Vegas, to even haggling to buy empanadas after a late night out in Colombia. More than anyone, I know that I can always count on him and he'll be there. And when Morgan entered his life, the adventures didn't stop. A couple of years ago, Morgan, Ryan, myself, and my sister decided to trek to Norway in the deep of winter. One of the hotels we had booked was a bit off the beaten path, so we had to rent a car with Morgan volunteering to drive us. Despite having Google Maps and a GPS in the car, we still managed to get lost. I blame the navigator. Picture this scene as we, 2 New Yorkers and 2 suburbanites, are steering off-road through the mountains in the dead of winter in the backwoods of Norway. It had all the hallmarks of a Hollywood horror movie. While the 3 of us freaked out, Morgan, the coolest customer in Scandinavia, kept us sane and got us and the car there in one piece, which is important because we did not spring for the extra insurance. I couldn't be happier that Ryan has found the perfect partner in crime who is also always up for an adventure. I can't wait for the many more years of friendship, big belly laughs, and memories we will all make together. I hope you have a beautiful marriage and an even better life together. Ladies and gentlemen, let's raise a toast to the newlyweds, Mr. and Mrs. Ryan Crowder. Cheers to the bride and groom.
Hi guys, I am Megan. I'm Morgan's older sister, the only sister. Now we have Megan, also Megan Crowder. She's around here too. She's a great also addition to our family. Morgan, although she's my younger sister, she's always been more mature than me. I mean, that is pretty much where it's at. And she has also been wanting to get married her whole life. And I can't imagine she pictured anything better than this. This is amazing. This night is perfect, Morgan. You are beautiful. Ryan, welcome to the family. That's exciting. Although I do have to say, I was a little upset you weren't here earlier this morning when I was killing it on the pinball machines. I wanted to beat you, but that's okay. I did beat a few of you out there, though. I think I can speak for my entire family when I say, there is no one in this world better to stand next to my sister as you both start this next chapter. Embrace everything together. Never let your love fade. Always be faithful and understanding. Stick together and know you have all the love and support behind you. Together, you will always be stronger. Morgan is my first best friend. I could go on for hours about our life growing up. I am blessed to have a sister like you, Morgan. I love you so much. No matter what, I know I can call you and you're gonna be there. This past year has been one of my hardest, not only for me, but for my children. Through it all, I had you and Ryan there with me and them the whole time. I got to truly know Ryan and love Ryan as a brother. From spray paint to Pretty Princess and all the slime you could ever imagine, Uncle Ryan stepped up and showed us that he was the man for our Momo. I wish you all the blessings in the world, and I love you both so much. We can all have a toast and a cheers to Mr. and Mrs. Ryan Crowder.
So the first thing, obviously, you know, Megan is my first daughter. The funniest thing was when I found out I was having another daughter, I was like, how can I love another daughter? And then look at her. God took my face and facial features and put it on her, but it's much prettier on her. And she's got my wife's smoking body, so that's good. I mean, they're twins. They're twins, their bodies are identical. All right, so what I learned there was when not that way, Morgan, come on. Sorry, it wasn't supposed to come out weird. All right. Anyways, you learn to love them all, and they're all different, but you love them all the same. So Megan became the big sister, and Morgan became the little sister, and then of course came Mark, and Morgan became in the middle. She became the middle child. That funny through life. I always coached Megan in soccer. My wife coached Morgan, and I was in and out with Mark doing different things. And a lot of people knew Mark and Megan and had no idea who Morgan was. And they're like, wait, you got another child? And I was like, yeah, Morgan, she's in the middle. The funny thing is because Rachel, being one of her best friends, was an only child. Annie Hunt is around here somewhere. Annie Hunt's over there. She was an only child. And there was one more, Rachel Gow. So she was always with somebody else and not with us. And we always had Megan and Mark, and they were surprised when Morgan's around. So when the movie, I can't remember the name of the movie now, but Cheaper by the Dozen, we would kid Morgan that she was FedEx. And as she really believed, looking like me, that she was adopted. I mean, come on. But it was funny. The funny thing is Morgan, you would think she was actually really quite shy at the time, and the rest of us were pretty outgoing, and we used to say that Morgan was an introvert and an extroverted family, but then we found out that that's really, really, really not the case, especially she gets wild like her mother, and that's not necessarily the best thing sometimes. Morgan's definitely I've always said Morgan's always the smartest, although one time she did say that Mark was smarter, and then she retracted. So she's definitely the messiest. You know when Morgan comes home, there's a plate and a glass everywhere in the house wherever she has been, no matter where it is. And I always used to tell her, Morgan, it takes 5 minutes, just 5 minutes every day, and you always live clean. To this day, she has her sister cleaning up for her. And the funniest thing is Morgan is the most daring. Without a doubt, she will do anything, like her mother, anything. If you dare her, she's doing it. It doesn't matter. She's doing it. She's obviously, as you know, very loyal, and she's the peacemaker. She always wants everybody to be happy. I say this lovingly, Morgan. You didn't always possess the greatest skills in soccer, but she was like a pit bull on the soccer field. Her desire and her will just to work, she worked harder than anybody I know on that field. When she was younger, she was running in the middle school race, and her soccer coach that year was really got him in the shape like nobody's business. So she was doing the cross country race, and she was probably, I'm not joking when I say she was 500 yards ahead of second place. We were far away at the finish line, and we're standing there at the finish line, and Kimberly and I are looking at each other. I think that's Morgan. And I mean, she was just way out in front. So she was a really, really good runner. And I tried to get her to run cross country, and she would go to North. My wife and I were coaching soccer at North Hagerstown High School, and she would go and run with the cross country kids and keep up with them. And she was like in 3rd and 4th grade. So I tried to get her to run cross country, and she said, Dad, she goes, I love soccer, and I'll get my running on the soccer field. And I was like, okay, Morgan. So, but she was just like a pit bull, and could run like the wind. And then, of course, last night reminded me of the rifle. You can't forget that damn rifle. She worked, and she threw that rifle, like color guard rifle, like nobody's business. And she could pick it up today, and she'd start twirling this thing and throw it up in the air and catch it. And I don't know how she did it, but she was amazing with that rifle. And Kimberly and I, my wife, raised our kids to be very independent and self-sufficient. Some would say that I might have taken that to extreme, especially when 3-year-old Megan was watching 1-year-old Morgan when my wife was working at the hospital at the time, and I had a flag football game that I had to go to. So Jay and Joe were there, and Morgan was on the sideline in those little things that you used to put on your back, the little hopper thing, and Megan was 3-year-old, was watching her on the sideline, I was out on the football field. So, but as you can see, all 3 of them are here. So they made it. So as Morgan, family has always been important to us. And she said the other week, she loves the idea of 3 kids because, you know, when you're mad at one of them, you always have the other one. So I'm seeing 3 kids at least in your future. You're not going to have 2, I can tell you that. And I find it hard to believe you're going to have 1. So have fun with the 3 kids, Ryan and Morgan. That's when you get to play zone. So last thing, as your mother and I always say, Morgan, may all your ups and downs be between the sheets, Ryan.
Hi, guys. When I first printed out this speech on the printer, my wife had put Christmas paper in there. And initially I thought, what is this? But then I got to think about it and I realized, well, today is a true gift. Thank you so much, Pete, Kim, Morgan, all you guys over here celebrating this day with Morgan and Ryan. They say if we travel far enough, we find ourselves. This evening, we find ourselves amongst family, friends, a beautiful newfound family, friends that are family, and friends and family that are here in spirit to celebrate this beautiful day. When Ryan was about 5, we took a trip to Disney World. And during numerous photo ops, one in particular, Princess Belle kissed Ryan on the cheek, and he said, I'm never ever gonna wash my cheek again. And then came his true princess, Morgan, to enrich his life, and I've never seen Ryan more content and happy. Morgan, you're a natural beauty, not only in appearance, but in your heart and soul. And tonight you're beyond beautiful, you're magical. And Ryan is very blessed to have such a lovely wife. And Ryan, you're a champion, handsome, smart, fun-loving, a good friend, a loving son and brother, and most of all, sincere. And there's no substitute for sincerity. And for that, Morgan, you're the luckiest girl in the world. A man with dreams needs a woman with vision, and vice versa. And you guys complement each other so well, and I think the sky is the limit for you guys. This evening, in this moment, you are the richest couple in the world. It's amazing how one day someone walks into your life and you cannot remember your life without them. A bit of worldly advice for you, Ryan. A man is not truly married until he understands every word his wife is not saying. Ryan, you have your work cut out for you, buddy. Your mom and I have been married for 32 years and I'm still trying to figure it out. Mom and I and all of us here wish you a life of happiness, heart and soul felt joy, and most of all, inner peace. We love you guys. Congratulations and God bless. And let's raise your glasses to Ryan and Morgan. Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, congratulations, guys.
All right, at this time, we're going to have Ryan and Morgan head over to their wedding cake.
Beautiful baby from the outside in. Chase your dreams, but always know the road that'll lead you home again. Go on, take on this whole world, but to me, you know you'll always be my little girl. When you were in trouble, that crooked little smile milled my heart of stone. Now look at you, I've turned around and you've almost grown. Sometimes you're asleep, I whisper I love you in the moonlight at your door. As I walk away, I hear you say, Daddy, love you more. You beautiful baby from the outside in. Chase your dreams, but always know the road that'll lead you home again. Go on, take on this whole world, but to me, you know you'll always be my little girl. Someday some boy will come. That's why I'll always stay around. Yeah, yeah. You are the apple of my eye. Forever you stay in my heart. You must have known that I was lonely, because you came to my rescue. And I know that this must be heaven. How could so much love be inside of you? Oh, you are the sunshine of my life, yeah. That's why I'll always stay around. You are the apple of my eye.
And how about a round of applause for Ryan and his mother?